Hey, it's Candus, and in today's QuickBooks tips and tricks, we are going to talk about credit cards. So this is a request per Mary of how to really understand what's happening behind the scenes within your credit cards. So I'm going to go over again how to enter credit cards, how to reconcile them. Once you've reconciled them, how do you apply payments on a regular basis so that if you're carrying a balance on your credit card, that you're taking care of QuickBooks properly. Come look over my shoulder and I will teach you how. Now that I'm inside QuickBooks, let me show you what you do. So the first thing I want to show you is, where do your credit cards sit within QuickBooks? Where can you go and see what's happening within your credit card? So the first step is to go under List, Chart of Accounts. There's also chart of accounts from the home page, but what you're going to do, this is a sample file that I use for my training purposes. Here is a credit card that we have added in the past. So if you do not have a credit card currently inside your QuickBooks, you would go under List, Chart of Accounts here, go down to the bottom and click New, pick Credit Card, Continue, and then you would just type in your credit card, what it's called. So the one I have right now is called Capital One, and then I recommend, if you have more than one credit card, putting the last 4 digits of the card or the account number on the title here. If you have a beginning balance, you can enter it here, like an opening balance. What I recommend doing is figuring out what time frame you want to enter. So if we're in this October right now, the end of October, and you want to enter all of 2015, go back and find your credit card statement from the beginning of the year. So it would be the one that has all the transactions as of January. So if your credit card is kind of mid-year ends, you want to pick the one from December, find the beginning balance, and put that in. If you need any help, feel free to contact me, and I can help you with that as well. I can create another video on how to do that. But I figured this video is going to be everything I can teach you pretty much about credit cards as quickly as possible. So you're going to create a credit card. So you'll see mine is here. It says Capital One, 2345. Its type is credit card, which I just showed you. And the balance right now in here is 105. So what this means is I'm not paying my credit card off every month, which is the question I received from Mary. So let's look at that real quick. I've created previous video on how to do credit cards. This one we're just going into more depth on. So Mary said that she watched it, but she wanted to understand what to do once it comes up to reconcile. So we're going to cover that today. She also said she wanted to understand, what's happening accounting wise, and if you carry a balance or do partial payments from month to month, how do you check that? And if you are doing correction transactions, how do you also know that you are correcting it properly? So I'm going to do my best to answer all the questions today. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your credit card. The first thing I recommend you do is you actually double click on it if you've been using it and look and see what the transactions show you that you've entered. So in this example, back in August, I entered a couple transactions and then we did a reconciliation. We made a partial payment of 150, which left a balance of 105. So over here on this right column, you'll see balance. It said $255. We made a payment of 150, which left us a balance of 105. So today I'm going to show you I'm going to close all these screens. Let's say that you're ready to now enter credit card charges. So what you can do is you can either go here under banking and click enter credit cards, or here under banking and click enter credit card charges. So you're going to want to make sure that the first thing you do is you select the correct credit card if you have more than one. You would select this little box, this little circle if you have charges. And if you've returned something and you have a credit, you'd actually select this, and then QuickBooks knows behind the scenes exactly what to do with it. To the right, you'll notice it says ending balance, the $105 that I just showed you in the chart of accounts. So we're going to go in here and we're going to do a charge. You want to make sure it's to a vendor. Let's say it's to Office Depot. We'll use today's date. I'm creating this video on the 28th of October. If you have a reference number or a receipt number, you're welcome to use that, but it is not required. It just gives you more data. Then you would put in the dollar amount that your charge to your credit card was for. Then you could put a memo in if you want. Then you're going to go down here to expenses, and you are going to drop this down, and you can scroll down and find your office supplies. If you're at Office Depot, I'm guessing it's office supplies you're buying. You can break it down to multiple expenses if you want. You can put another memo in. if it goes for a specific job. I'm not going to cover that today. And then if you have classes, which I've discussed before in a previous video, if you want to know more about those, feel free to check that video out. I'm just going to select business for today and then click save and close. If you have multiple credit card charges that you're going to be entering, you would actually click save and new. I'm going to click save and close. And that's as easy as it is to enter your credit card charges. So what you would do is when you get your statement, you go in, you grab your statement, and you look at every transaction and you enter them into QuickBooks. When you're done, the next step is to click Reconcile. So we're actually going to click Reconcile. We are going to drop this down and make sure we pick our credit card. I'm going to get my calculator out so that I make sure I do this right. It's $105 plus I just did a $12 transaction, so it's going to be $117. Now, where you're going to get this balance is off your credit card statement. So you're going to look at your credit card statement where it says ending balance. So you have a beginning balance. That should match this. And then you'll have an ending balance, and that should match this. I'm actually going to adjust this out to just say October 31st. And if you have a credit card finance charge, you can put that in here, which is like interest, the date that they charged it for you. Normally, you do it every month. So this would be the previous month, then you would do September. But because I'm showing this example in October, I'm going to go ahead and go out to October. So make sure you grab your bank statement or your credit card statement. You use your ending credit card date. They should be the following month. Make sure this is exactly right. So if your credit card ends on like the 17th of the month, choose the 17th, whatever date it says on your statement. Make sure your beginning balance is correct. Make sure your ending balance is correct. Any finance charges, the date. You'll go to interest expense or finance charge, whatever you have in your QuickBooks. If you use classes, it will show up. Otherwise, that won't be there. You're going to click continue and your credit cards are going to come up. So what you're going to do is on the left side, it shows all the charges. And on the right side, it shows all the credits or payments. If you have not been reconciling your credit card, you'll see this little box up here where it says hide transactions. You're going to want to check that. And then anything after the period date that you picked for the statement will disappear. So you have years and months in here. Go back, fix it, do it right. Credit cards often get messed up because people don't understand how to enter them. They don't go in here and enter each individual under credit cards. They don't enter each individual charge. They try to do lump sum and then they get messed up. So do each individual charge and then reconcile it and don't move on until it balances, until it matches to the penny. So you're going to grab your statement and you're going to go, okay, there's a charge, that matches. Oh, there's my payment. Perfect. And you'll notice over here to the right, you have your ending balance, your cleared balance, and the difference is 0. It has to be 0 to move on. If it's not 0, there's a problem. Go back and fix it, figure it out. If it says it doesn't match and there's a difference, yet you look to the left and your beginning balance is correct and your charges seem correct, and it still doesn't seem right, go back and click modify and change and check and make sure your ending balance is correct. Because every now and then somebody will do a typo on their ending balance and everything won't match and they can't figure out why. Okay? So that's what you're going to do. You're going to make sure it says 0. Then you're going to click reconcile. If you're in the middle of a reconciliation and something doesn't match or you have to leave, you can actually click leave and then come back and do it again later and finish it. Once it's properly done, everything balances. It says 0 here. Please promise me you only click if it says 0. Click reconcile now. This little part comes up and this is where Mary's question is because my last video ended here. What you're going to do is it says the outstanding balance is $117, or in other words, your balance you owe is $117. Do you want to write a check for it right now, or do you want to enter a payment later? Most people that I work with, and I personally do this, I reconcile my credit card once I get my statement in, but that's not always the same time frame that I'm paying it. So if it is, you can click write a payment, or you can, I don't recommend using enter bills because what enter bills does is it puts it as accounts payable, but you already have entered those charges. So they're already going to show up on your profit and loss. You don't really want to use this enter bills unless you're wanting accounts payable. I don't recommend that for most businesses. It just will confuse you, so don't do it. Even though those are the only two options that they give you, if you're not going to pay it right now, what I want you to do is click cancel. And you might be like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know that was an option. It is. That's what I'm here to show you. Then the next step is you can print the piece of paper to attach it to your statement if you want. I typically recommend just doing summary and clicking print. And that's all you have to do. I'm going to click display. Let's see if it'll work. Sometimes I have a little glitch with my QuickBooks. Oh, it worked. Okay, perfect. So this is what I'd recommend you print. It has your beginning balance, your charges, your payments, and your ending balance. Print that. I'm just going to close it for today. Attach it, file it away. Now the next step, a few weeks later, whenever it is, maybe even you've already made all the payments because, hey, I'm just like you guys. I get behind on my bookkeeping. So let's say you've already been making payments and you're catching up. It's October and you're catching up from January. What you would do next is you'd want to make sure all your payments are put in. And the way you'd put those in is you would go here to write checks or check register. I don't care which one you use. I'm going to show you write checks today. What you do is you go in, you select the bank account that you're paying it with. If you're paying it online, you can actually just type in online. You can type in EFT. You can type in your check number, whatever it is, however you want to say that you paid it, the date that you paid it. So let's say I'm going to put online. I'm going to say I'm going to pay this November 5th of this year. I'm going to pay it to, okay, so this is important. When you're in the chart of accounts and you're creating your credit card, you'll notice you have a credit card here. That's your chart of accounts. When you're in and you go to pay it, you have to add it again. And it's just going to be, say, Capital One, and they're a vendor. So if it's not already in here, I'll act like I have to retype it and I'll type it slightly different. You're going to hit Quick Add, Vendor, and you're going to click OK. So if you're brand new and you're paying your credit card for the first time, your credit card is going to be a vendor, and that's going to show your payments. So let's say we owe $117. Let's just say we're only going to pay $100 this month. Probably you just pay it off, but I'm going to show you that. Now, one way you could do it is do your breakdown, but I'm not teaching you that today because it really messes most people up. I work with clients one-on-one, and if you ever want to work with me, feel free to contact me. I do these YouTube videos because honestly, I just enjoy teaching, but I've been doing it for 8 years. So I work with clients one-on-one as well. So click on Capital One. So the vendor is who you're paying. Capital One is the credit card, just to be clear. And then the amount, we're going to pay $100. And I'm going to write this off to business. So what I'm saying is I entered my charges. I've reconciled it, so I know everything's done right. Then I'm now going to make a payment to my credit card, and it's going to be $100. Down the road, after I've reconciled, they're two different things. Okay? You're going to pick the vendor, the credit card who you're paying, and you're going to click Save and Close. Now, that's going to show up here in your register under your bank account. There's your payment. What the blue line represents is that I'm paying in the future. Anything above the blue line is past, anything below the blue line is in the future, because today is October 28th, just in case you're curious. So that just tells you I paid Capital One, and the account that I'm picking is my Capital One. So now I'm going to go under List, Chart of Accounts, and I'm going to show you what's happened. So now if I go back into the Chart of Accounts right here, List, Chart of Accounts, you'll see my Capital One, and now it says I owe $17. So if you double click on that, it'll open it up and you can see what's happening. So if you want to know when you're going in, part of her question was, I'll go back to the YouTube, what's happening behind the scenes and what happens when you do partial payment. I think I covered that pretty clearly. And how do you check your old transactions? So what you're going to do is you're going to go in here and you're going to look and you're going to see, okay, I said when I entered this particular credit card charge, just double click on it. I said I paid it to Home Depot and the expense category. That's what you want here. You don't want to select your credit card again. You want the expense. Up here is going to the credit card. Here is where the expense is. If you hit Control Y, it's just a little shortcut, it'll actually show you also what's happening in a little transaction journal. It's going against your expense and it's going against your credit card. So that's what's happening behind the scenes, accounting wise. That's what your question was. And then when you go to pay it, you pay in Capital One, but it's going towards your bank is where it's coming from. This is where it's going to, and this is where it's coming from. And you'll notice charges and payments, and now your balance is $17. So QuickBooks will actually keep track of your balance as you go. You just enter all your charges, enter all your finance charges, reconcile it, and then make your payments as you go along, and make sure you're coding in your check right here to credit card, and you will be good to go. So I hope that answered all your questions. If this tip has benefited you and you know somebody else who could benefit from it, please share it. And if you enjoy my videos, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And as I said, I have a lot more videos on here on my YouTube, and I put them on my blog on my website. If you would like to work with me or want some help on your specific business with QuickBooks, feel free to contact me. I can let you know what that looks like. Have an amazing day. Oh, I forgot one thing. I love your questions. It's the way I know what you guys need to learn and know, because I do QuickBooks all the time. So if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask me. If you don't want me to share your name or anything about you, I will not share that information, but I will give you your answers. Have an amazing day. I'll talk to you guys again next week. Bye.